Dorit Kemsley, finally having nothing to say for once. Dorit Kemsley says shit happens as she slams fan for questioning her split with PK. It's called life. Just a few minutes ago. I thought I'd add this to the beginning of my video. Now let me give you a quick Mother's Day message and then we'll get this video going because it's about the strange timing of all the things happening around PK and Dorit's separation and Mauricio and Kyle's separation. And gee, just a lot to discuss here from a few different viewpoints, which we're going to do today. Hi, you guys. John, say hi.
Hello.
No, come over. Say
Hi.
Happy Mother's Day. This is my baby. He's not a baby anymore. He's so big. Get in the picture. He's gotten really big. Look at, he's ginormous. I'm like a little mama now. He's so much taller than me. You guys, it's like crazy. He's a whole head taller than me. I'm so little now. Anyway, happy Mother's Day. And if you're a dad and you took over the mother's role because your mom's a deadbeat, because those exist, then happy Mother's Day to you too. If you're a guy and I suppose you're a mother, then why not? Happy Mother's Day to you too. I always feel like Mother's Day is earned. You don't just have a baby and get it, at least in my world. You guys know why I feel that way. So here I am still at my lovely Marriott, as you can see from the beautiful artwork behind my head. Still here, still have mold. I don't know. Maybe I should just be one with the mold soon. So here I am. I'm about to do a Mother's Day video about Dorit Kemsley. Let's get into it. So as you guys know, Dorit Kemsley was rumored to have been a friend, or maybe she wasn't coming back. And there was a bunch of that conversation happening in the Daily Mail from a source. And that same source was telling them that Kyle Richards couldn't come back unless she admitted that Morgan Wade was her girlfriend, all this stuff. Anyway, I usually love Daily Mail's gossip, but I think that source was, had an agenda of some sort. Who knows? That source could very well have been Alex Baskin trying to get those women to come out with their issues, thinking that maybe that was like a leak from production to kind of plant a seed with Dorit and Kyle, because of course you read the tabloids when you're in the business. Now I knew for a fact that was not true about Kyle because Kyle's a secret producer. I always tell you guys, she is never going anywhere unless she chooses to go. She is not going anywhere. So yeah, she's not going on a journey. I'm going on the journey. Anyway, let me play you an interview that Alex Baskin did recently with PK Kemsley and Dorit Kemsley before their alleged breakup. Now, I have some real thoughts about this breakup that's happened, this separation between PK and Dorit, and I'm dying to share them with you. I've been dying for a few days, but as you know, I've been busy with creating shows. I have so many New Jersey shows coming up that is just basically going to tell stories that we've had in Gossip Land in bits and pieces from people that have been involved in these like scandals or this gossip that I'm actively recording nearly every day with people to finally tell the story in its entirety from different viewpoints, so we really know what's going on. So you guys know episode 181 came out. Now we have 182. That's a doozy if you haven't heard that one in the Patreon. And I've got 3 more shows that are not with Gabriella, that are with 3 other people who have come forward now with more information. This is just, it's a tea festival, really. This is our South by Southwest tea festival for Real Housewives of New Jersey. And perfect timing for this gossip to come out because it's New Jersey right now, right? Season just aired, so perfect. So look forward to those because there's more coming. And well, this was a very prophetic thing that happened. Real Housewives of New Jersey trip canceled after Berkshire's spot burned down. And they were going to visit Bluestone Manor too. But the whole trip got called off. All right, so let's get into PK Kemsley now and Dorit's interview with Alex that was done right before this announced breakup and they started filming. Listen.
You guys are each other's biggest fans. I think that's the other thing that people don't understand, and I get to see that, fortunately. And so I know through, any of the turbulence, I want to talk more about the home invasion and, the impact that had. But I know that through everything, you always say PK is the smartest person that you've ever met.
Hands down.
Yeah.
And the funniest.
Yeah.
And she's the most beautiful, and she's a fantastic wife and a fantastic mother, and Dorit's got her ways, you know. We know she talks a lot, right? And it's difficult to get a word in, which is why this podcast is interesting. But I'm not someone.
Well, he is a smart guy.
No, but I'm not gonna walk.
Okay, Alex.
I'm not gonna walk 10 feet behind my wife. It's just not who I am.
No, he'd rather walk 10 feet in front of me.
Yes, I walk in front, or
How
I
about
walk
side
by the
by side?
But the point is, I'm not that person. So if I don't feel that my voice is wanted or I'm needed, then I'm a guy that, okay,
Yeah.
well, I won't bother.
Yeah, he's actually sensitive to that. In
You
fact,
know that, Alex.
You know, it really, it's not going to paint him in a very nice light, but it's harmless, but it's one of those things. It's so true. PK, he doesn't want to be in the shadows. He's just not. And it's something that he's actually got a real, I don't want to say insecurity, but like a sensitivity about. And so even the fact of being on the show and it being called The Housewives, me saying that it's my show or him not being at level with me has been a bone of contention.
But this is why there's such a major contradiction. So this season, you've not been around. You should have done this. You should have done this. Last season, it's The Housewives. You're not needed. Which one is it? Do you understand? What do you want me around?
I don't think it's that extreme, but it's not mine and PK show, right? Obviously, if I had it my way, it would be. I would love nothing more. But I'm not saying that to kind of like one up my husband. It just is what it is.
Although, how would that go?
Or is
if
it one up in
were
Kyle?
your guys' shit? Like,
Oh,
let's
that
say you were doing a
would
show
be-
about your family. Like, I think that would be
Amazing.
really.
Are you kidding? You would actually.
Alex is like, no.
To be able to see PK and I, which when we go for dinner.
Okay, before I finish this disaster of an interview, why is it a disaster? Well, a few things. Number one, we see PK wants to be a housewife more than Dorit, which is not very becoming of him. And when you know that he's been fighting for that show on Channel 4 for years, and then it just failed recently, and he started out by saying, you know, my wife, Dorit, from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is joining me on the show, and she filmed very little. But then on top of it, he changes it, like at the end of the season, to the Queen of Beverly Hills is Dorit, which is obviously something that is a definite dig to Kyle. I said it, if you go down into my videos and you go months back, you're gonna see that I said PK specifically took a dig at Kyle by changing the wording of his show to say the Queen, because it's like my wife's better than Kyle, in other words, okay, on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Anyway, when you take that all into consideration and you listen to this interview, you realize how sensitive these two people are to fame and to being on TV. And like, really, is their relationship anything more than like show, right? Like, I'm showing off my bullshit rich life, which isn't real. We know this. But also, like, who's upping who in the fame department, right? It's really strange. Now, you can totally understand why PK is cheating if he is in London, because, of course, PK is feeling insecure. And when a man feels insecure, that generally speaking, they will cheat. And so I'd say, you know, well, and there's other reasons PK might cheat, but we'll get into that in the Patreon. Another thing I thought of is look at the timing of this separation. So, I mean, it's almost like Dorit has copied Kyle. And in a way, the timing of Mauricio ending his relationship and Dorit ending her relationship is like the same. And considering the rumors that and the obvious edit that they're flirting with each other, it leads me to believe that this timing was intended. It's at this moment that I have to say that the resentment between these two must be pretty high, because Dorit has a $90,000 plus tax debt and PK has nearly $1 million. Okay, and this is just last year this was done. November 15, 2023, it came out in court documents. So, I mean, this isn't going to be great for the relationship, especially given the age difference and everything with PK. Like, you know, this is a disaster waiting to happen. You know, meanwhile, Kyle's husband is single.
Dorit obviously is very affectionate with him. He said Dorit was the hottest housewife next to his wife, Kyle. And he's, worth $100 million or something now. So she's got to be looking over in that direction. Remember Simon Cowell? Simon Cowell's best friend in the whole world was Andrew Silverman. And he ended up dating his wife behind his best friend's back and then getting her pregnant. Okay? Can you imagine? You not only have an affair with your best friend's wife for like a million years, and you go on trips with him and everything, and you're secretly having action with his wife the whole time. And then she gets pregnant and you have to basically break up their marriage over getting your best friend's wife pregnant, and then you take over. I mean, come on. This is the ethics we're dealing with. So PK and Mauricio aren't even that close. Now, I'm going to play you a little more of this interview in a minute, but let me show you one more thing before I do. So Dorit drops this the other day to announce our separation, and it's more like a proclamation than it is a separation announcement. But what's surprising is Mauricio Umansky bothers to like it. Here you go. Mauricio showed his support by liking the post. He can relate to the pair's recent struggles as he himself is navigating his own breakup. Ooh, the timing of this breakup is so interesting. Mauricio gets broken up with Kyle right around the same time that Dorit breaks up with PK after putting up with this crap for so many years. It's odd, isn't it, that both these people get single at the same time? You remember when I got dragged by Page Six till the next year because I had posted a movie poster that a very talented influencer put together called An Affair to Remember with Mauricio and Dorit after it's become pretty apparent they were flirting like crazy on the show. And I posted it and said, you guys are all talking about this. And Dorit wrote like a novel at how close of friends she is with Kyle and Mauricio. And this is disgusting based on their friendship and blah, blah, all this crap. And her and PK are stronger than ever. And I should just go F myself. And why am I miserable here? Is something wrong with you, woman? Or are you just so miserable in your life you have nothing better to do? By the way, if you click on that comment, see it's in red there, it's gone. It's gone. So apparently Dorit Kemsley deleted the comment, I guess, because it's no longer there for you guys to check out. Am I miserable or am I a psychic? Well, and Emma Slater, who he definitely hooked up with when he was caught holding her hand in the parking lot of Matsuhisa, Emma, she's holding on for dear life here, but she's never going to land him. Never happening. Especially after the rumors of who he was supposedly seeing, on the side, who looks, by the way, like a younger Dorit Kemsley. I mean, if I'm going to guess, I'm going to say Dorit's more his type than Emma Slater, based on, the rumors of who he was seeing secretly that may have caused all these rifts between Mauricio and Kyle, no matter how much they deny that they exist. And remember, I wasn't the one who pulled this out of my ASS. A girl who was really good friends with this rumored side piece girlfriend that might have been transactional reached out to me and wrote me and said, I know this tea about 3 years ago about Mauricio, and spilled it all. And it turns out that she was friends with Brandi Glanville, what leads me to believe Brandi Glanville, when she told me the gossip back in season, 2 or 3, whenever the hell that was, that Mauricio was cheating on Kyle, may have come from her because she did know this girl that Mauricio allegedly was having some side action with, just saying, who looks just like Dorit, but younger. It's all in the Patreon, this stuff. So if you sign up and you want me to show you where it is, let me know. I'm like the librarian of the Patreon, and I will use the search, which I tell you guys to use, and I will help you find it because I know the content better than anybody, obviously, in there, and I will get you what you're looking for, and you can hear about it. And it didn't surprise me that Mauricio had a lot of cheating rumors, and if you knew PK's London group of friends, which I happen to know, they all kind of had mistresses on the side. So it wasn't surprising to me that PK might be cheating on Dorit, and maybe this was something that Mauricio and PK could have bonded over, just saying. This is all speculation, of course. I wasn't in the bedroom.
I never saw Mauricio cheat when I was around him or give any indicator that he was a cheater while he was with Kyle when I was with them socially. But certainly a lot of smoke, a lot of smoke for sure. But it doesn't matter now. It's all water under the bridge. Kyle's out. He's out. Dorit's out. And PK's out. Now, let me just show you what came out. Supposedly, Dorit was spotted filming. There's the producer with her. She's still wearing her wedding ring. Fans were very confused by this because this was taken after she had posted about the separation. Of course, the rumor was that PK's been living at the Beverly Hills Hotel and also another hotel out in Orange County that's like a luxury place. And he wasn't really at home with Dorit this whole time for months now. But, they were going to finally come clean on the show. So the weird thing is why she's still wearing her ring. I would suspect that, they're not going to kill off the marriage like right away. They're going to sort of have her talk about how she's trying or something like that, and then it's not going to work, and they're going to play a little bit of this out on camera. Now, PK was also seen leaving a conversation that was filmed, and he was just disheveled and looked really upset leaving. So we don't know what that's about. Maybe they filmed her saying it's over. Maybe they asked them to reenact it. Who knows? Or maybe she had some big news to tell him that, he was very upset by. We don't know what that is. Now, Kyle was also seen filming, and some people speculated that maybe Dorit and her were getting together to discuss, Dorit leaking her messages on national TV about, please don't say this on the show. And in those messages, we find out that Kyle says the show is toxic. Now, if Dorit leaked those messages, which I have a feeling she did that to hurt Kyle because she knew it would piss off the powers that be that she wrote that the show was toxic in the messages to Dorit. So she releases them on the show, and that really upsets Kyle. But probably what upset Kyle more was the fact that she released the messages to the influencers where she says the show is toxic, which could get her in a lot of trouble. Even though Kyle always says she doesn't want to come back, of course, as long as the paycheck is as high as I think it is for her, which is probably over $1 million, she wants to come back. I wanted to know how you feel about Dorit Kemsley. Do you think Dorit and Mauricio are going to use this opportunity to finally test the waters out, maybe privately and not in the public eye? Do you think that, that could happen? Or do you think that would be like they would both be so villainized that they would never do it, or they'd never let us know they were doing it? Or you think they don't care? Do you think that Kyle Richards, really hates Dorit, not so much for the text messages, but because she now realizes that she was flirting with Mauricio? You know the drill. Give me your opinion. Is it just the text messages? What is it? Okay, so let me play you the end of this clip and let's finish this up.
Agreeing.
And laughing.
Exactly. There's obviously a lot of love. I mean, there is a lot of love between PK and I. He's my family. But he can also drive me up the wall and I want to kill him, and vice versa. But there's nothing in our lives that we don't do together. In fact, I should say, the reason why we had trouble in our marriage is because post-home invasion, I was dealing with a lot of stuff. I really wasn't myself. I didn't really want to go out all that much. So we were spending less time together. He was traveling more. PK and I are not good when we're not together.
I bet.
We're not good when we're not doing everything together and involved in each other's lives the way we've always been. It actually disconnects us.
So if you want to check out more of that interview, go watch Alex Baskin's show. Yes, I'm trying to throw him a bone. The irony.